Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about the NextBase 322GW dashcam. We're going to talk about its exterior features, and then I will show you how you can set it up on the first time you turn the power on, and also help you identify where you can find some of the settings of the camera, just in case in the future you would like to change them. And hopefully by the end of this video, we'll have a better understanding how this camera can increase your driving experience and also take care of you in the unforeseeable event of an accident. And here it is, the NextBase 322GW, as soon as you take it off the box. So let's talk a bit about its exterior features. On the front, we have this paper cover here, which when you want to mount the camera on the front of your windscreen, you simply just take it off, and here is the space where you use to mount the camera. Let's plug it back in quickly. Then on the side, we have this port here where you can use in order to put your rear view camera and also connect this dashcam with your computer in order to see or review essentially your recordings. On the side, we have the reset button, and on the other side we have our placeholder for the SD camera, our on and off button, and on top of that we have our charging port essentially. A button that is really important to notice is this red button down here. So the way it works is that this camera has a certain amount of memory. It constantly records what you're doing on the road, and then when that memory comes to its limit, it starts deleting files first in, first out. So the originals you had are deleted to make space for the newer ones. However, in any case, if there's any case that you definitely want to record something and protect it and never delete it, make sure you press that button while it's happening, and essentially you're telling the dashcam that this is an important file for me and I don't want you to save it. So essentially it just stores that specific moment. Now let's see how we can set up the camera on the first time you turn it on. Right, let's start with opening the camera up, which is essentially pressing the on-off button. And here we go. So this is the screen you're going to see on the first time you open the camera up. We need to select the language, which is English for us, and also press OK, and then you can select your location. We are in Britain, so select UK and Ireland, indeed. And then we need to select our speed units, mph for the UK. We can set up the date and time, either automatically or manually. And then we can connect to our app features. We're going to skip that for now. Essentially, NextSpace has its own individual mobile application called MyNextSpace, where you can connect your dashcam with your mobile phone. So let's skip that for now, and we have just completed the setup. And this is how the camera looks like when you first start it up. So let's look at the settings initially. So it's pretty simple, the settings menu. We have the video settings, setup, driver assistance, and MyNextSpace, which is the mobile application. So let's go through the video settings first. So click there. As you can see, you can scroll to the right hand side. So first things first is our resolution. The camera has a default of 1080p. You can change that to 720 or 60 frames per second. You can see your exposure, your video length, and also your audio. The default for audio is on always, so you can click on that and turn it on or off if you wish. Let's move backwards, and then if I scroll to the right hand side, we have our timestamp, speed stamp, GPS stamp, and model stamp. Essentially what this is, when you are in the actual camera, if I may go back, down here, if you select the timestamp, it will be showing on your recordings what the time is. If you select the date, it will show the date down here. If you select the speed stamp, it will show your speed that you were driving on your recording. And then if you select the model, it will show you down here the model of the dash cam. And also another thing you can input there, which I will highly recommend you do, is to put your number plate. So essentially you just input your number plate down here. You press OK, and then your number plate shows again down here for recording. So in the event of in the event of an accident, they definitely know the registration number that this dash cam has been used on. So that's quite handy to know. To turn the timestamp on or off, you simply go in, on or off, press OK, and the same actually applies for the rest. On or off, and this is where you can find them. Moving on to the setup, we have a screensaver, which I would highly recommend to have it on. Essentially what this tells is that while you're driving, the screen is dark, so it's one less distraction. If you have it on, while you're driving, the camera is always on. The light of the camera, it's always displaying, and you can see what the camera is recording. Then we have our recording history, which is what you can see, where you can see essentially what you have recorded thus far. You can change your language, the country, the time zone, end time, end date down here. Then we have our speed units, which if you missed it or made a mistake in the beginning, you can change that. Down there we have the device sounds, which you can turn on and off. As you can hear now, it makes some noises, so I have it on. We have a screen dimming and then auto power off. So this one, if the car is have it on off, if the dash cam essentially is plugged in to the ignition of the vehicle. If the dash cam is plugged in to the 12 voltage socket, then put it on. So if you purchase this dash cam from us at Luscombe, we install the dash cam and we input it on the ignition. So just keep it on off and you should be good to go. So essentially every time you put the ignition on, the camera comes on. Every time you turn the ignition off, the camera goes off. And then we have our driving assistance, where you have your emergency SOS, and here you can access your reversing camera. And last but not least, we have MyNextSpace, which essentially is when you have downloaded the MyNextSpace application and you have connected your phone to this application. To download the NextBase application, simply go to your App Store or Play Store, type NextBase, and then download the application. As soon as the download is complete, open the application and then agree on the terms and conditions and continue. Then press next, and the application will ask us to identify or select the camera that we're working with. This is the 322GW. Press on that, and now it's searching. Assuming we have the camera on, it will identify the camera and then it will match them. For this point in time, let's skip this step. Here you can see essentially the dashboard. We have our SOS button, the library, which essentially you can see your recordings. This is the home view. You can shop for additional extras, and in case you didn't manage to connect the camera on the first try with the phone, you can again connect the dash cam from here. And essentially you have your dash cam, all of the recordings onto your phone, so you can view them at your own convenience and your own time. And these are the main features of the NextBase 322GW. As I've mentioned earlier in the video, here at Luscombe Motors, for every new or used car, we give you the option to purchase both the front and the rear camera, and we will do the installation for you. To purchase and install the front camera only, it is £220, and to purchase and install both the front and the rear camera, it's £350. I hope you found this video useful and informative. If you did, please consider giving us a like and maybe a comment. Thank you ever so much, and all the best.
If you want to see the best and latest offers, simply search for luscombemotors.co.uk and select the brand you prefer. We continuously update our offers to ensure that you get the best deal on any new or used car.